Welcome. I promised you a demonstration of the Leak Stereo 70, which is there. It's now got its wooden case around it, which I dug out this morning or this afternoon. And that's the Leak Stereo 70 amplifier. I found some half decent speakers, and the matching Leak Stereophatic FM tuner. So what we'll do, we'll put the camera on here. I will now click the button and my hip is still sore. Yeah, young Daniel came this morning, got his amplifier back, and right, so that's him sorted. Fucking hell. There we go. I'm a bit tired tonight, folks, so I won't be on long. Yeah, doesn't my amp look good? Now we've got the oh shit, the phone's come off the holder. Just hate it when that happens. Right, see how high that takes. I'll adjust it. I need to. Trouble is, where's me frigging pliers? Because it needs tightening under there. Well, that's good enough actually. We'll leave it there. See if it drops down. Move that soldering iron lead if I can. If I can't, it'll just have to droop there. Right. Right. So we've got me on here and all tonight. I don't know, you don't usually get my face as well. Whoops. Let's just turn that round a bit. There we go. A bit further. There we go. So we can see the amp. There we go. And this is actually a very, very, very nice amp. Just a shame I haven't got the wooden surround for the tuner. But this sort of thing can't be that hard to make. So I'll just make something, I think. We got anybody watching yet? No, nobody yet. Nobody probably knows I'm online yet. Anyway, you'll soon get notified that I'm on. Right, what can I say? It's been a funny day. It started off a bit snowy, though it's gone alright. Sorry about the yawning. I need to get a knob for this. Jay said he had one for me, so he mentioned it a while back. Because originally the amplifier had a knob missing, but when I bought this, I decided to nick one of the knobs out, nick the knob off it to complete the amplifier. Let's turn this on. There's no hums out on this, you know. It's lovely. Yeah. That'll get me a copyright strike, won't it?
is no cat. Night. Good morning.
Oh, morning.
I didn't know if you were a hot
There we go.
cold man. Toast or cereal? I left various bits and pieces out for you. I'm an early bird, so I wolfed down a great nuts.
Well, that's not bad. All I've got in it is the test lead for my meter for an aerial. That's all that's in there. Yeah, which is not bad.
I'm always worried I'll miss that special moment. Juicy quote.
I don't think you'll get any juicy quotes out of me.
We'll see.
Better watch what I say.
Radio 4's more broadsheet than tabloid.
So you're not after a kiss and tell about sleazy academics.
It's not bad, that, actually.
Arthur Sweets by Henry Purcell, and Alison Dawson with Trevor Pinnock directing the English concert from the keyboard. And before that, Jean-Yves Thibaudet with the Rotterdam Philharmonic Orchestra.
Like I said to you last night, the mono stereo indicator is not a light on this, it's a little meter. It says mono there and stereo in the red there. You tune it all the way to the red. As far as it will go, and that's and you're in stereo mode, and when you press the mono button it drops right down a bit, goes to the mono mode. It's actually a good radio.
Needs you to give blood in Manchester. Blood donation is considered essential travel. It's quick and easy, and extra safety measures are in place. Book your appointment to give blood at Plymouth Grove, Manchester. If you already have an appointment, please keep it or contact us to rearrange. Visit blood.co.uk or get the NHS Give Blood app today. Thank you for saving lives.
It was another day. Same town. The road hummed beneath his tires. He clocked the empty rear view. A left turn upset the grocery bag and he cursed his flatmate for not buying more tea bags. Though the roads had never been so quiet, he stayed within the limit. Being in control felt good, and home was waiting. Warmth, a brew.
Right.
If you need to travel, be the mate who won't speed. It's time to rethink our need to speed.
Wouldn't it be nice to unbox a fancy new phone? Well, now on Sky Mobile you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G.
And that's it. We have a mute button on here. Probably needs adjusting that mute button. Yeah, it needs adjusting.
Silk City, Mark Ronson and Dip.
I'm still not sure if that's a yes or a no. Did you used to live in this house? Oh, I really wish we could sort out a regular meaning for these knocks.
Yeah. That's actually quite a good radio. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that that is actually a very good radio. We got anybody on here yet? No. Nobody going to say hello. I'm not going to be on live long tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna use these in my front room because That's what I want them for. I've got a tape deck somewhere. I've got a few tape decks to choose from. Because I do like to listen to cassettes, so I've got some cassette decks. I don't know whether to use a top loader cassette deck. I might even use my reel to reel. I might even connect that to it and see what we get. But yeah, the footage there. Let me refresh that footage because that's showing what happened a few minutes ago because the connection dropped out. So if I just click refresh, it should just. Yeah, we've got 5 watching. Good evening to all 5 of you. I hope you're having a good evening. I hope wherever you are in the world is good. And coming up this week, I'm going to service my Garage 0100 because I haven't serviced it for a while. It hasn't been used for a while, actually. So it's due a service. I'll have to look at the last Garage Zero video I did. See when I last serviced it. Time are we on anyway? Is that all it is, 7 o'clock? Wow, no wonder no one's on. You're all sat troughing your tea. Yeah, but yeah, when all said and done, they don't make kit like this now. You know, they really don't. They don't make good gear like they used to. I mean, that leak amplifier. I don't know about the tuner. Probably at the same time, but the amplifier was made around the mid to late 60s.
That they're wrong.
Isn't that scary?
That's exactly what it is. Because the
And
same
it still
psychology
works.
applies to extremist beliefs.
Still just as good, works just as good as it did when it was first made. Yeah, they don't make them like that now.
They're not the frightening things. Human beings are the frightening things.
Ah, text. I've got a signal. The first one since I arrived. Oh.
Really nice amplifier. Really nice. Making sure we're not getting hot. We're going to get a bit warm.
Likely Russian.
Probably a phishing scam.
But nothing crackles. But there again, I sprayed it all last night, didn't I? I sprayed it all and made all the necessary adjustments. You can just hear the amplifier with the volume turned fully down. But I'm not going to dig into that because there's no point. Hi, Washboard. Hello, Aaron. How are you two? I take it you're both okay. Yeah, I'm well. I've still got a sore hip. I was lifting that bloody big amplifier of Daniel's. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? I mean, you can't go to a shop now and buy out like that. Unless it's someone who deals in vintage hi-fi. You know. Oh, you still got your bad asthma. Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right once the weather changes. I mean, I'm sure of it. You know, just stay away from anybody with COVID-19, really. That's the secret behind that one, isn't it? Yes, I do agree, Washboard. Rogers, absolutely. Yeah, Rogers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. 60 sounds on all three speeds, we'll just call you. Yeah. Yes, I'm very well. And yes, Rogers, yeah. A real blast from the past, weren't they, Rogers? They were good stuff as well. Remember, I remember when I was a kid, I was about 13, maybe a bit older, maybe 14, and I was given a Rogers amplifier by a neighbour, and I sold it, and it was one of the worst things I've ever done. Yeah, HMV were good, of course they were. I mean, anything that came out of BRC, I thought was pretty good. They were way ahead of everybody else, and they gave you, the thing with BRC, they tended to give you little extra bits. A bit like Amstrad did in the 80s. They tended to give you little extra bits. That you would find. You'd find on a high end system, but it wouldn't be a high end price. And because BRC weren't high end, they were middle. I class them as middle, because they certainly weren't low. They were mid quality. They certainly weren't budget. That's for sure. And I like them. I like all the stuff that BRC made under their many different trading names. Like Ferguson. They had the slogan. They had the slogan for their televisions. Best picture of all time and best sound all round, and that was true. Because to be perfectly honest, nothing knocked out a picture like a Ferguson. Them BRC sets, they produce beautiful pictures. And the only other company I can think of, offhand that is, that could get anywhere near them, that had a good picture was Decca. The picture on the Deckers weren't bad either. The Decca Bradfords, or Deadly Deckers as they were sometimes known as. Yeah, they were. I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised. You can pick up all sorts on old radios. I mean, new radios are shit. But old radios, yeah, I mean, back in the 80s, I used to listen to a lot of shortwave, and I only used to use the aerial provided, or a piece of, if there was no aerial provided, I used to use a piece of wire, and just a piece of wire, a couple of feet long, stick it on the wall with a drawing pin, and some of them old radios. Pi, yeah, well, yeah, Pi radios were good. Yeah, they do. You need a good aerial. You need a good aerial to get anything worthwhile out of a modern radio. Modern radios are just junk. I mean, I've got a Pioneer system in the front room. It's a modern one, but I've only got it because it was cheap, and it's soon going to get replaced with what you see there. Yeah. Oh, Pi Valve TVs, right? I never messed with them. I never mess. I never mess with them, but I remember pie. What do I think of pie? Uh, I think pie. I think pie is not too bad. It turned into shit when it was swallowed up by Phillips. But there again, Phillips was shit generally. But yeah, pie before it became Phillips. That reminds me, I've got a pie black box in the shed, which needs an amp rebuild and it needs a new deck. And it needs a veneer doing on the cabinet. Needs a complete rebuild. That's an up and coming project. Yeah, they were electrical death traps, but you know, that was the early ones, though. I mean, once they got the proper line transformer sussed out, and everything else sussed out, they got pretty okay. But anything from the 30s and 40s, television wise, I won't touch because they were all death traps. But yes, the Pie Black Box series was very good. Mr. Washboard, that's absolutely true. The one I've got in these new valve sockets, it's got them V-shaped valve sockets with the V pins in. And what I need to change the valve sockets, put new sockets in with proper rounded pins, with proper decent pins in it, and basically rebuild the amp. At some point, it's on the list to be done. And I need to get a deck for it because there's no deck. Well, there is. There's a Garrard auto changer, but the problem with it is the fucking. I think somebody chopped fuck out of the motorboard because they come with they came with BS harmonics in them. But they manufactured that Pie Black Box for 10 years. And I think some of them did have an auto slim. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did any of them have an auto slim? Well, mine's getting an auto slim. I might have to have a new motorboard cut for it, but I'll work on rebuilding the amplifier first, and then I'll worry about fit and finishing the cabinet. But yeah, it will be getting an auto slim. Yes, they did. The chassis was live on them. I don't like stuff without transformers. I do love a transformer. And you'll be all pleased to know I have put a new power lead on the leak amplifier. I put a new power lead on it today. It's now got a 3-core power lead. It's earthed like it should be. And there's no hums on it or anything. It's a lovely, lovely silent amp, which is what you want. But yeah, if something's designed to be earthed, then it's got to be earthed no matter what. But yeah, I keep yawning, folks. The reason for that is I'm tired. Some fucker kept ringing my phone at 6 o'clock this morning. Not 6, 7 o'clock this morning. And it was a withheld number. So I've not been able to find out who it was. I do suspect it was my landlord. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. BSR. I'm just looking on Facebook. Yeah, I'm just looking at a quick advert on here. Somebody's put a Fidelity up. It looks like strangely like one I used to own. It isn't. Although it could be. I don't think it is. I'm trying to get a good look at the front. Doesn't give you a good look at the speaker grill. You don't get a good look at the front. No, it's not the same one I had. It looks like it. No, it's not. No, it ain't. It's different. Yeah, it's different because this one's got. Yeah. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, it's got what do you call it? Power 2-core power lead. Hey up. Hello, Mildred.
Fucking up, are you?
Yeah.
Right, I'll be around in a minute with your fucking top doodles.
Lovely.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube live.
Right, I'll come round because I've got to get that money off you for Brenda as well.
Yeah, that fiver. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 11 quid. It's fucking 11 quid. It's 9 quid altogether, isn't it?
Right. Well, you'll have to owe me £1.
Right, well, owe you a quid. We won't get in fucking debt for a quid.
Yeah, you can get in debt for £1.
Well, Brenda says she'll give you £1.
I'm not bothered about you giving me £1 tonight. Fucking hell, I'm glad that you picked the stuff up for me.
Right. hey, you'll be on fart hour tonight.
Yeah, make me sound like a fucking mercenary, you cunt.
I give it you.
You make me sound like a mercenary.
You're a mercenary for a quid, are you?
Yeah, you make me sound like a mercenary.
A mercenary, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell, I'm not gonna. Don't think you'll leave the country for £1.
Hey, when you was in Vietnam, we didn't have guns. You used heart power.
Yeah, I can outfight you any day of the week.
In the bushes. Yeah, you're a trumper.
Yeah, I can outfight you any day of the week.
Yeah, you're a trumper.
Yeah,
In the army, you're not a trooper, a trumper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a look for them springs? Did you, fuck?
I didn't fuck, but I didn't look for the springs either. I told you, Mildred, I'm going to clean the Hoover out. I'm going to empty the Hoover and I'm going to suck up everything in front of the bench and under it.
What year?
This year, tomorrow.
Fucking hell, I do know. Know your tomorrow.
Yeah, I know yours, I know.
Hey, you know that fucking vinyl jukebox that went for fucking 160 quid?
Yeah.
260 quid, well, 360 pounds.
Yeah.
The cheeky bastard's put it back on the net now, so he must have been bidding himself up.
Yeah, he's had his mate bidding on it.
Yeah.
You want to report him for shill bidding?
Well, he's put it back on the net now for 320 quid.
Yeah, because because he's shill bidding. That's why you want to report him. It's not fair that. I got reported.
Now 320 quid.
I got reported for doing that once.
Yeah.
I did. I got one mate bad. Two mates bad because he used their accounts. Another mate got read the Riot Act, and I got bad for 2 weeks. I said they originally barred me indefinitely, but I sent them an ass-kissing letter apologising, and that would never happen again. And I didn't realise the gravity of the situation, and they changed me ban to 2 weeks, and I've never done it since. You know, I've never done it since, but you know, yeah, I'd report the fucker, mate. I don't give a fuck. I'd report that twat.
He's fitted himself. He's got someone to bid up on it. You think can't help now.
Yeah.
So he threw it on the net for 320. Right, it's not worth that. It's worth about 2.5. That's it.
Well, to be honest, I don't think it's worth that, and even Duncan will agree with that.
Yeah, but
You know.
it's probably worth fucking 100 quid. It won't fucking work. It's been in there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right?
It won't work.
You know what I mean? Well, obviously, it's not going to pick the record up.
No. Anyway, listen, Mildred. I'll speak to.
I'll be on yours in a minute.
Yeah, I'll speak to. Yeah, I'll speak to you about it later because I know you want to drop my stuff off and then you want to go and do some homosexual activity.
Well, I'm letting you do the homo activity because I'm sending your mate round to come up with you.
I'll
Josh
see.
said he'll come and clean me cheek.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'll see you in a bit, mate. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. A bit of live phone entertainment there from Mildred. Yeah, apparently what that is, like he was after buying a jukebox, and it's sold for 300 and something quid. But the problem is the same guy who's got it's put it back on for 300 and something quid, and I don't agree with shill bidding. So, you know, if it was me, I won't grass on anybody, but that goes below the belt. You know, you are systematically robbing somebody. And I think, you know, yeah. I mean, I did it once and I learned the error of my ways. I've never done it since and I won't. Because it's not, you know, it's not worth losing your account over. You know, it's not worth them either. You know, but, and technically you can be brought before the courts for it as well. Because it is classed as stealing, shill bidding. Driving the price of your items up. Well, that being said, you know, I've got 3 likes and 17 watching. I'll tell you what, you know, I'm getting popular. One day I might get as popular as Radio Cruncher. I should start drinking, shouldn't I? And then maybe that, that might increase the amount of people who tune in, or click in rather, because you don't physically tune in, do you? But yeah, me amplifier and my radio, they're going in my front room, and like I say, I had Daniel here. He's a lanky fucker, Daniel, you know. He's tall. But, you know, I thought I was tall. He towers over me. What is it, you know, what is it with the younger generation? You know, they just seem to tower over us old fuckers. You know, I know kids at 15 and they fucking built like fucking bears, man. I have a leak in the workshop. Yeah, I had one in the toilet earlier. Yeah. Yeah, they're all tuning in because I got a leak. Yeah. Hey, just think washboard. Hey, just think washboard. If I had a fucking, what do you call it? What's that other fucking make? If I had a quad, if I had a set of valve quads, you know, everybody would be masturbating, wouldn't they? You know, they'd be fucking, you know, they'd all be masturbating. If I had a set of quads on here with the preamps and the FM tuners and the rest of the gubbins that goes with them. You know, but that being said, I've had this leak on before. There is earlier videos of me doing it, but last time I had it on, it had crackly switches and it was still in good health, but it had crackly switches and stuff. And but now they're all nice and quiet. It's yeah, it's a good amp. It should work well with my work well with my Sansui S50s. I need to find out what the impedance of my Sansui S50s is, because if they fall home, I won't be able to use them. Yeah, it is nicer with the wood on it. That's true. That washboard. I'm just gonna have a quick look and see and just have a look at the specs for the Sansui S50s online. Sansui S50s. S50. I should know, but I don't, because Sansui S50 speakers. I should know because I've got a set, but fuck me. Someone's got a set of the fucking Sansui S50s here. They want 350 quid for them. Yeah, really? I gave 25 quid when I bought them years ago, so that was a good investment. I mean, there's some on eBay here. They usually give you good photos on there. Because Sansui, that listing's ended. Them ones sold for 170. Sansui give you what do you call it? A sheet on the back that tells you what the speakers, all the specifications of the speakers. But I can't be arsed pulling the speaker from the wall and looking. I would rather just find something on here that tells me. S50 speaker specs, there we go. Yeah, 12-inch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I want to know what the impedance is. I know what fucking size speakers are in them. Yeah, there's a 12-inch woofer, a 4-inch mid-range, and 2-inch tweeters. I know that. Here's Mildred. Let me just... Hang on, Mildred! Yeah. This is going to be painful. I don't mean giving Mildred the money. Hang on! I mean getting out of my bloody chair. Oh, that didn't hurt as much as I thought it was going to do. Ow! Fucking hell. Scraps move! And that fucking heating's on. I'm coming! I'm coming! Heating on in there, haven't you? Oh. Yeah, no, give me the boxes. Alright. Take care. I'll give you any more about it. Yeah, give me a fucking penny. No, it's £1. It's a fucking real one. You cheeky bastard. I'll see you later, mate. I don't believe that. He actually checked it to see if it was real. Of course it's real. Well, I assume it's real. That's how I was given it. Sansui S50s we were at, weren't we? I could put my meter across them, but I can't be arsed. 800 into 8 ohms, lovely. Yes, I can use them on that amp. That's good, they're 8 ohm. I thought they were actually, but I wasn't 100% because I've not looked for ages. Yeah, they don't, do they? Yeah, I know. 500 quid for a tape recorder that's 40 odd years old. Well, young Daniel's been trying to buy my Sony off me. Uh, you know, fucking yeah. Young Daniel's been trying to buy my reel to reel off me. I won't sell him it because A, I want to keep it. B, it was given to me, and C, he only wants it to make money. But he won't make money on it. I told him that today. He won't make money because if I sell it, I want top dollar. And I've got another one, them reel to reels, exactly the same, which is missing a head cover. It's my original one. Yeah, he did. He found it. Well, actually, in a skip, it was actually on the back of a scrap truck. He got that and an oscilloscope, which I traded with Jay. Yeah, that's another fact. eBay prices, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I won't deal with anybody when they start to quote eBay prices. And one guy did it at a car boot sale, and I just refused to deal with him. It was a couple of years ago. Do you remember car boot sales? Before the British government shut them all down. Yeah, but I mean, at one time, at one time, at one time, I could pick stuff like that up for next to nothing. Because people before eBay, there was not really any outlet to sell it, and you were at car boot sales, and it was like stuff like that was a fiver, a tenner at the very most. I mean, I could have got that. I mean, that tuna, I don't begrudge paying for it actually, because that tuna cost me 12 quid. I did think it was a valve version, but I don't begrudge paying for it because it's a lovely tuna and it's got a nice sound. And everything works as it should. I've not done any work on it, and it all works straight from me. I bought it from Goulburn, and I think he wanted 20 quid, but I browbeat him down because you have to, because you can't take somebody's word for it that it works. You like to trust people, but I don't. Well, Maplin's gone, hasn't it? Maplin isn't what it used to be because it no longer exists. Uh, you know, the best place for getting stuff was years ago for good prices was car boot sales or the loot, or looking in newsagent windows, or even in the 80s before they built all these treatment plants, you could just go down to the tip. In the late 70s, early 80s, you could do like I used to. You could just go down to the tip. If you needed a tape deck, you just went to the tip and somebody would throw one on. And it usually worked as well. Yeah, but it doesn't as a shop, does it? So it's like Woolies. Woolies exists online somewhere, but it doesn't exist physically, does it? As a shop, and what fucked Maplin up was the prices they charged and the sort of stuff they went into selling. See, Maplin was created to serve the electronics engineer and the electronics hobbyist. Maplin made exactly the same mistake that Tandy made. He went into selling fucking phone accessories and fucking toys. I mean, if I want to buy a drone, I wouldn't go into Maplin to buy a drone or out like that. I expect to go in Maplin to buy components. Tandy, not so much components, but they were more in. I used to use them for buying disco equipment. I used to buy a lot of realistic disco equipment. I thought it was very good stuff. Wasn't bad. Yeah, I'd rather pay. I'd rather pay. But disco mixers are made to be hammered. They really are. So why pay a fortune for a device that you're just gonna beat the fuck off out, beat the fuck out of it every Friday night? And to be honest with you, I've had some really expensive mixers come through my hands in the past for repair, and but I've never had a realistic one in for repair. Believe it or not, they were just that good. The later ones were shite. When Tandy changed its brand name, I think they changed it to Genexa or something fucking daft. Can't pronounce it, I don't think. But they changed it, and the mixers and everything, they just went downhill. But I had an original realistic mixer, and it was the last of the realistic range before everything changed. And I got it from Stockport, Tandy in Stockport on Princess Street. I got it from there, and there was no box or whatever with it. So I just said I spoke to the woman, a ginger-haired woman who was a manager. She was a rather robust woman. I spoke to her, and she knew me. And I said to her, I says, I'll give you 60 quid. It should have been 129 or 130 or something. I says, I'll give you 60 quid, and I'll take a chance on being bit. I says, I'm not bothered about the guarantee. I don't want that. I won't bring it back if it doesn't work. I buy it, I take it home, it's mine. So she says, yeah, go on, then. She said, well, we're not getting any more in, so I can't understand why it's still in the window. So anyway, so she took me 60 quid. And I had that thing for fucking years. And it's probably still working somewhere because I sold it with a double CD player. The double CD player was crap. It was made by that company called Synergy. Rubbish. I put it in a flight case and I sold it as a disco system to a bloke. But they stopped doing a lot of the fucking stuff. They stopped doing a lot of the stuff, the washboard. That was the problem. I mean, you went in there there was supposed to be an electronics components store. It's supposed to be an electronics shop. It turned into a toy shop. And that was why it failed. Because they were selling stuff at inflated, overpriced. Everything was overpriced. You wouldn't get a bargain out of Maplin unless you pinched it. Which obviously we don't do that these days because A, we're all honest, and B, there's too many cameras. But at the end of the day, Maplin failed because it changed from what it was good at doing to what it was absolutely useless at doing. That was why. I mean, I can remember back in the 80s and even early 90s, you could buy video heads and belt kits and stuff from Maplin. Or you could at the one on Oxford Road in Manchester. You could go in there and you could say, I want a head for a Ferguson Video Star 3V29. And he'd go in the back and he'd come out with a head. And the heads, and they sold the heads cheaper than what was the distributors or CPC did. So, yeah, they were crap. Yeah, mine used to do that. Yeah, yeah, they were, yeah, they were crap. But there again, they were aimed at the DJ, the bedroom DJ. They were aimed at the DJ, at the bedroom DJ. I never ever used the one I had professionally. I used to just use it for playing CDs on an ear. But I used to use 2 karaoke decks. I can't remember what they were. I used to use, I think one was Voco Pro, and I think the other one was a JVC. I'd actually have 3 of them decks because I had a little Sony one as well. I had 3 of them Sony karaoke decks, and I used to use them. So, and I tended to do more karaoke than I did disco, and nobody, you turned up as soon as people saw the 2 microphones and the television and the books. That was it. You didn't do any disco, although you took CDs with you without any music on. They didn't really come out. Yeah, I mean, when double CD players came out, there was a lot of crap on the market. There was a lot of crap, but CD players are dead now, aren't they? They're a thing of the past. I mean, fucking, nobody really wants them. I don't really have one. I've got hundreds of CDs from when I was doing discos. I won't sell them because they're all in my digital. Most of them are in my digital jukebox as MP3. And if I ever need a backup, I've got the original backup material, so I will never sell. I won't sell them. When I car kit, my daughter can do what she wants with them. But we're yeah, that's going in my front room tomorrow. I've decided. Yeah, it's going in my front, but it won't be tuned to Radio 4. I've got an aerial in there, I think, somewhere. I'll tune it to tune it to Radio 2 or something. Because I don't mind Radio 2. I mean, I'm not a lover of the BBC, but I don't mind Radio 2. Yeah, a lot of people did use standard hi-fi decks, half decent ones. I mean, I used to have, and as far as I'm aware, a friend of mine in Wivenshaw still got them. I used to have 2 realistic decks, and they were cheap CD players. I bought from Tandy, obviously, before Tandy disappeared. I bought them from Tandy, and I think they were about 30 quid each. I bought 2 of them identical. And what I did, I just screwed the fuckers together. And I screwed them together. And I put a common switch on them. Nicely done. I put a common switch on them, so when you turned one on, both of them came on. Didn't do anything. I wired the power leads in together. But I did it correctly. I drilled a hole through the top of one and through the bottom of the other. Put fucking grommets and stuff in. I screwed the machines together, obviously, and I used them for a bit, and when I didn't need them, I sold them to a friend of mine. I can't remember how much I sold them. I got more. I made on them anyway. Very stupidly. I gave 30 quid each. I think I stuck a tenner on each one to make a bit of profit. So I sort of like sold them for 40 quid each. I sold him the unit for 80 quid. And as far as I know, he's still got them. And as far as I know, they still work. Yeah, I miss Tandy, actually. I was in there all the time myself. I mean, yeah, the one in Cheadle, I knew the guys in the one in Cheadle very, very well. In fact, I knew them that well. that they used to lend me an amplifier on a Friday night to go doing discos. They used to lend me the manager used to lend me an MPA 100, and he says to me one day when I was stood there talking to him, he said, "Why don't you just buy one?" I returned it I borrowed it on a Friday, and I took it back on a Saturday. Anyway, he said to me, he said, "Why don't you just buy one?" I said, "I haven't really got the money to buy one." He says, "I'll let you have that one you've been using." It was the one off the shelf I was borrowing. He says, "I'll let you have that one for a discount." I said, "I don't fucking want that one." He says, "Why?" I says, "It's been hammered every Friday night. I said, if I buy one, I want a brand new one with a discount." So I can't remember how much I paid, but I got one. Got a brand new one out of him. And he also had my phone number, so if anything unusual came in, he could give me a ring. And one morning I got a call off him. And they'd got these Fidelity karaoke players in. And even though they were badged as Fidelity, to be honest with you, they weren't half bad. Anyway, they phoned me up. The key changer and stuff on them was crap. But if you just wanted the karaoke features and you weren't using the key changer, which I never did, I never used a key changer. That's the key it's in. That's the key. That's the key it was originally recorded in. That's the key you're singing it in. And I never had a problem with that. So I never used to use key changers, so I wasn't bothered. And he phoned me up one day, this John, I think he was called, if I remember rightly. He rang me up. He says, "Good morning, Andy." I said, "Oh, good morning." He says, "We've just taken delivery of a load of Fidelity karaoke players, standalone CD players." He says to me, he says, "Hang on." Oh, he didn't say that. He didn't fart down the phone, obviously not. He says to me, he says, "Are you interested?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like one, yeah." I said, "How much are they?" I mean, they were about 299 quid. I think they were either 199 or 299, something daft like that. Can't remember exactly. But they were dear. He said, "Would you like me to put you one upstairs?" I said, Yeah, of course I do, yeah." Anyway, he said, "I'll put a sticker on it." He put a sticker on it not to be sold under any circumstances and chucked it upstairs. I went in a couple of days later with the money and paid for it. And I had the thing for about 6 months. And I sold it to a guy in St. Helens. I put it in the loop. And I wish I'd had a lorry load of them. I got calls for that for about 6 months. Almost a year, I think it was. I was getting calls for that. Have you still got it? No. I wish I'd had a lorry load of them. I would have no trouble selling them. And a lot of the karaoke fellas I got to know, a lot of them used them. And they did the same thing I did. They just used them as a player and never used the key changer or the echo. Because you didn't need all that. I mean, the mic amplifiers in them were crap. The mic preamps were crap, and the echo was crap. But we didn't want any of that. We just wanted the machine to deliver the graphics and the audio, and it did that perfectly. The rest of it could be dealt with the echo. The echo and the what do you call it? Well, most of us had decent amps with reverb on them, so the reverb could deal with the echo bit, and the fucking the mic plugged straight into your PA. So that's how we did it. But we only used them for playing the disc. The preamps never got used. The mic amps and stuff never got used because they were rubbish. But for playing the CDs, they were great. And the best one was the JVC. I can't remember the model number of it, but that JVC one they brought out, that could play video CDs and everything. I used to love places like Tandy. Well, this is it. I mean, nowadays, nowadays you can just use a. Nowadays, I've got karaoke on me digital jukebox, and I haven't got the precision. I haven't got the provision of plugging mics in, but if I wanted to, I could just plug a mic mixer in into the amp. I could just plug a mic mixer in if I wanted. And I could use it, because it brings the graphics up on the screen, displays the graphics on the screen. So I could use that if I wanted. But, I mean, it's all changed now. Yeah, I agree. Tandy was good. But then they tried to diversify. They went into fucking something they knew nothing about. They started to ignore. They started to ignore the true customers and started delving in fucking mobile phones. And they knew nothing about mobile phones. Yeah, I've heard a couple of them, Harvey. You're actually not bad. Yeah, you're not bad, yeah, I have heard a couple of them. A couple of weeks ago, I had a listen. But, yeah, you're not bad. I've only just managed to stop the hot dog from howling, but there you're brilliant. Top stuff, mate. I'm only kidding. He only howls at the clock. Yeah, but I thought, no, I think, actually, yeah, you're not bad. I remember when I was fighting for custody of my daughter, which I won incidentally. My solicitor was having trouble getting me in the office, not because of my fat bastard before anybody comments. Because he spent all his time in court. He was hardly ever in. He looked like Peter Falk. He did, he looked like Columbo. He used to wear a mac as well. He was a tiny little Geordie, little squirt with a fucking, and he just looked like Peter Falk. I phoned the, I phoned him up once, and I says to the young girl, the receptionist, I said, "Can I speak to the lieutenant?" She says, "The lieutenant?" I said, "Yeah, Columbo." She says, "Who the fuck's Columbo?" I said, "Paul Waters." And she burst out, said, "Yeah, it looks like him, doesn't it?" She burst out laughing. Can you ask the temperature where everyone here is? You can ask. I can't tell you. Actually, I should be able to. Let me just get me. Where's me Moby Joby? It should tell me. Let's just get the old iPhone. -1 degree. -1 degree. -1 degree here in Stockport. Anyway, getting back to it, she burst out laughing. Anyway, he couldn't get me in his office because he was always too busy. And he says to me, he says, "Can I call to your home and speak to you to discuss the case?" I says, "Absolutely." So he came in. I sold him a jukebox while he was here. 500 quid. Anyway, he came in. He came in, and he said to me, he says, "You wouldn't believe," because his office is right near a pub called the Edgerton in Stockport. He said, "You will not believe how many Elvis Presleys there are that go in that pub." He said, "When I come out of my office at 7 o'clock at night," he said, "that they're all fucking droning away." He said, he says, and they all try and fucking mimic Elvis. He says, all you hear is people singing Elvis songs coming out of that fucking pub, and I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Harvey, you do a good Elvis, I will admit. But, you know, I've never yet heard an impersonator that actually sounds like Elvis. I mean, Elvis was Elvis. Impersonators are not, are they? I mean, I'm trying to think. No, I didn't. But you can't sing a Dean Martin song unless you're pissed. Everybody, oh no, that was fucking Perry Como, wasn't it? Love somebody sometime, yeah. Perry Como, wasn't it? That fucking That's Amore was Dean Martin, wasn't it? When the moon hits your eye like a bigger pizza pie, that's Amore. You can tell he was pissed when he was singing it. Right. I'll have to have a listen, Harvey. I won't get to it tonight, but I will, yeah. You know me. You know, it takes me a few days, but I get there. You know, when it pops back in, it pops back into my head. You know, oh, I need to listen to that song that Harvey told me about. You know, it pops back in, and I go and have a listen. One of my, do you know what one of my favourite songs is? One of my favourite songs is "Straight Down the Middle" by Bing Crosby, because it's about the funniest song he ever made. Yeah, Let It Snow. Yeah, that was Bing Crosby and all, wasn't it? Was it? Let It Snow. Or was that Dean Martin? I don't fucking know. They all sound the same to me. Crooners and fucking organ grinders, and yeah, they all sound the same. But yeah, Bing Crosby. It was a bit ironic, really, wasn't it? Because Bing Crosby made a song about golf, yet he died on the golf course. You know, he passed away on the golf course. But that was how he wanted to go. Straight down the fucking middle. Yeah. Fucking a friend of mine died. He was in his 80s. He was married to a 25-year-old. He died having sex. What they haven't managed to establish is whether he came as he went, or would it be the other way around, went as he came. Yeah, a friend of mine, a friend of mine in Sheldon, Phil. He comes on the channel every now and again and says hello. I've not seen him tonight. If you're watching, Phil, hello, and hello to Maria as well. He bought 3078. Yeah, the thing with 78s is they are fragile. The shellac ones are. The vinyl ones weren't. The vinyl ones were the very last ones. The shellac ones are fragile, but also they suffer from mold. The reason why is because they come from the lac beetle. Basically, they're made out of shit. Made out of beetle shit. And that's why they get fungus on them. Oh, you're back. I didn't even know you'd gone. Right. Well, welcome back, Aaron. There we go. You know, but when all said and done, that radio's on in the background. But, you know, it's, you know, when all said and done, it depends. You know, I don't know. Yeah. You know, it's like Telly Savalas. It's like Bing Crosby once said to Telly Savalas, you know Frank Sinatra. Of course he wasn't. Only Frank Sinatra was Frank Sinatra. You know, fucking Telly Savalas couldn't sing. He only made one record called If. Oh, Jack Frost will be having a field day. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he will be. He'll be loving it. Do I think a Lin P12 is worth the money? Well, to be honest, I suppose a Lin P12 is whatever. I wouldn't buy one because I don't like manual turntables. I like my arm to come back at the end of the record. But I suppose. Oh, I've had a real paranormal. I've had a real paranormal encounter. I've seen loads of ghosts. I could tell you stories that will make you fucking not sleep at night. In fact, I'll tell you one now. Years ago, I lived in Wythenshawe. I'll make it quick. I'll be as quick as I can. And about 1982, I'd just left school. I was young. My brother was a bit older than me, our Willie, got a flat. So me dad says, will you take the dog out for me? So I says, yeah. We had this red setter called Jake, or Irish setter if you're watching in Ireland. We had this Irish setter called Jake. And anyway, we all walked up to our Willie's flat. I had a quick cup of coffee at our Willie's. And I said, right, I'm off, but I came a different way. I came down a road called New A Road in Wythenshawe. And I got to Ruffy Gardens, there's two Ruffy Gardens. As you're coming down towards Benchill Road, you got one on the left and one on the right. Anyway, the one on the right, I was on the pavement on the right-hand side, and the dog just stopped, and I mean he stopped. He let out a merciless howl, back-footed and foot off the other way. So I thought there was a lurker in the bushes, some sort of pervert or something in the bushes. So I thought, I was only 16. I followed him. Well, just turned 17 to be honest. And he'd anyway. No, it was 83, not 82. Yeah, because I just turned 17. It was 83. I got my year because I left school in 82. I just turned 17. Anyway, and I back-footed as well, and went a different way. And years later, I was talking to an Irish fella that lived in an guy called Irish Tony. Irish because he was Irish, and Tony because that was his name. And I mentioned we was talking on the CB, and I mentioned this to him, and he said to me, he said, "Yeah," he says, "I can believe that." He says, "I'll tell you why I can believe it." He says, "I was living in the same house that I'm in now." He says, "Back then," he says, "and there was a 3-year-old run over on the corner and killed at the end of 1982. He says, "So I can believe that." So what the dog had actually picked up was a fresh ghost. How about that one? And I could tell you about the tuna sandwiches in here, but I'm not going to because no fucker ever believes me. People think I'm making it up when my tuna sandwiches disappeared. But, I'll tell you what, folks, I wouldn't make anything up. Yeah. Well, that's a bit of a fucker, that, isn't it? Where did he get off taking people's benefit off them for nothing? You know what I mean? I've already told them, mate, if they ever take my benefit off me, I'll turn into a criminal. I don't give a fuck. I'll go against the law, mate, if they fucking take my benefit. What happened to the sandwiches? Someone just happened to ask, didn't they? Someone just happened to ask. Well, what happened was, I'd just moved in here. It was back in 1999, and no, I didn't have scraps then. Because if I did, he wouldn't be around today, I don't think. I was on my own. I made some tuna sandwiches. I took them through to the front room, and I realised I'd left my cigarettes and my cup of tea, because I didn't really drink coffee then. I left my cup of tea and my cigarettes in the kitchen. I went back in the kitchen, got my cup of tea and my cigarettes. I went back through, my tuna sandwiches had gone. Not a fucking crumb. The greedy bastard didn't even leave a crumb on the plate. Fucking. So yeah, I've actually had a few. I mean, I didn't shit myself, and the reason why is I'm not scared of ghosts. I'm not scared of the dead. It's the fucking living that bother me. The dead don't care. And another night I was sat in here. Another night I was sat in here. Oh, I wasn't sat in here. Sorry, I was in bed, and like you just fall into sleep. Well, somebody walks in and sits on your bed and it compresses the mattress and you roll over. Well, some fucker sat on my bed and I was in here on my own. I didn't even have the dog then. And every now and again, Scraps goes on the alert and he'll start shaking. And Steve will tell you this. He actually did it while Steve was here. What he'll do is he'll just start shaking for nothing. And no matter how hot the room is, it cools down. Because I had the heating on, because I put the heating on because I think Steve's a bit thin-blooded. So I put the heating on for Steve. And Steve said, he says, when he first came in, he was lovely and warm. And after about half an hour, he says, I've gone all cold. He says, are you cold? I said, well, I'm cold most of the time and too cheap to put the fucking heating on. So I don't really notice. I mean, if the heating's on for 5 minutes, I'm already too hot. But and he said, no, he says, and look at your dog. He said, your dog's shaking. I says, I know. So I think Scraps can detect when it's about. Because I can't explain it any other way. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, but I believe that the animals, you can either see them or smell them. But but that being said, it doesn't bother. Yeah, I know. Animals can see. I know they can see what we can't. They can smell and hear what we can't as well. I understand all that. And but it doesn't bother me because whatever's in here isn't going to hurt me. They'd have done it a long time ago if it was. So whatever's in here, I believe it's a girl. I don't ask me why. I just think it's a woman that's in here, a young girl that's in here. I did hear a rumor that a young girl hung herself in this flat, but I don't know how true that was, and that was told by a friend of mine that owns one of the houses over the road, and he bought the house when his mum lived in it back in the 90s, and he was born and brought up round here, and he's always lived on this road up until when he obviously moved, but because he rents his house out. But he told me Yeah, but she might not have been demented. She might have been depressed. You know, she might have thought she had fuck all to live for. You know, we don't know, do we? You know. You know, at the end of the day, we don't know why, or even if she did, or was he winding me up? I don't fucking know. But you know, yeah. So you know, I'm inclined. You know, I believe in what I see. Uh, you know, and I can't explain what happened to me sandwiches. I can't explain what happens to me dog. I can't explain why the room goes cold. I can't explain who sat on my bed that night. You know, I can't explain any of it. But I threatened it with a priest and it all calmed down. Because things used to get moved, like screwdrivers and stuff used to get moved. And, you know, there was a lot of goings on. And it ain't just me imagining it or saying it. I'm telling you. Yeah, I know it is, yeah. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He hung himself, didn't he? Jack from on the buses. No, but it's not him in here. I'd recognise his teeth. He did, yes. Well, this is it, you see. I mean, I don't like throwing my shit round. It's not a poltergeist. It's just, I think I think it's a young girl, and I think that she's very mischievous at times, and you know, but she got warned to keep her hands off me shit. She got warned to keep. I just sat in the front room, and I just sat there and I said, look, you keep your hands off me shit, or I'm gonna get a priest. And she's calmed down a lot since then. So, you know, if a spirit wants to share my flat, that's fine. I don't mind as long as it doesn't pinch me food or want to pinch me bed. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm a big believer in ghosts, but I never used to be. There was a time when I'd say, "Oh, what a load of bollocks," you know. But no, I thoroughly believe in them. You know, I think there's. I'll be honest with you, folks. I think there's something there. I don't think it's what these religious dickheads think it is, but there's definitely something. Because I'm not religious, I don't believe in any of it. Yeah, yeah, I could have asked her politely, but unfortunately, I'm alive and she's not. So therefore, I take precedence. So you know, it's do as you're told or going on somewhere else. So at the end of the day, I don't mind. I mean, it's surprising. I mean, these properties have only been up 50 or 60 years. I mean, they're not really old properties, these, what I'm living in, you know. You know, well, I did treat her as if she was human. You know, if it was someone who was alive, moving me stuff, they'd have got told the same way. Except I would have said, I'll break my foot off your fucking ass. To a human. I mean, you can't break your foot off an ass that you can't see, can you? You know. Uh, are you off? Are you off now? Are you off now? Oh, good night, Harvey. Yeah, you stay safe, my friend. Uh, and I'll catch you later. Uh, Well, we do handle them differently. I mean, no, that's all right, Harvey. You get yourself off, mate. Don't worry about it. You get yourself off, or just sit and read the chat. You don't have to comment. That's not a problem. I don't mind that. Not at all. No, it's all right, mate. You get yourself rested and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, but Steve noticed it. When was he last here? It was when he brought that transistor. I think it was when he brought that transistor for that Dynatron. Was that the last time he was here? He's not on tonight, so I can't ask him. I think that was the last time he was here. But Steve went very cold. He went from being nice and comfortable and warm to being cold, and he had his coat on as well. He didn't take his coat off. He never does. He had his coat on, and he was sat here, and he said he's gone awfully cold in this room, and the dog started shaking. So I'm not frightened, me. I mean, I'm really not. I'm not frightened. Don't bother me. I've lived here 21 years. I've lived here 22 years in July. June, July. Yeah, 24th of July. I'll have been in this flat for 22 years. And, if there is anything in here, I think we've reached an understanding. Because things don't disappear as much. I mean, the odd item does. Stop pinching me food, it must get fed elsewhere. It's. Yeah, appeal Harvey, I would as well. Yeah, try asking for, yeah. Yeah, they're fucking cheeky bastards, aren't they? I was working until I lost my job. Back in 2017, I think I got dismissed because I had an argument with one of our Muslim brethren, and I got dismissed. Shows you done it. But that besides the point. I'm not racist, and the argument was nothing to do with that. It was over religion. But he reported me, and I lost my job. And I went to the dole. I went into the DSS, and he started speaking to me like I was a piece of shit. And I turned around and said to him, I said, listen to me, and listen good. I said, you don't give me enough to fucking speak to me like that. And the security guard walked over. And the security guard turned around. He says, do you mind keeping your voice down? So I turned around and said, I'll speak as loud as I want. I said, I don't give a shit, everybody can hear me. I says, I'm not arsed, mate. I says, anyway, what are you going to do about it, Jobsworth? But at the end of the day, you have to speak your mind. You have to say what you think in this world. Otherwise, people fucking walk all over you. I speak my mind and I don't give a fuck. If people don't like the fact I speak my mind, then I can't do out about that. But I'd rather somebody speak their mind. I really would. If somebody's got something to say, I'd rather them say it than bottle it up or tell somebody else. Yeah, well, that's what I would do. you know, it's, you know, they just fucking think. You know, they just take the piss. They just take the piss. You know, fucking, oh, he doesn't need it. But, they don't give you a reason. They don't give you a reason why you don't need it. They just say, oh, he doesn't need it and stop his bloody money. I mean, what I felt sorry for, I'm going to move off the tangent slightly. Just catch the chat here. You see, let me ask a question. Right? All these old guys now that fought, I mean, there's not many of them left. All these courageous old guys who got into them rickety aeroplanes, and they were rickety by today's standards, weren't they? And they fought for our freedom. Do you reckon they would have risked their lives to do what they did do, or even sacrifice their lives, to do what they did do, if they knew how it was going to pan out? Fucking never was so many by so. What was it Winston Churchill said? Never was so much owed by so many to so few. Yeah, and that's the bloody truth, but the so few never got paid back, did they? They got treated like shit after the war. And you're right, it does suck. It fucking does. I mean, at the end of the fucking day, they get a measly pension. They got fuck all. They're lucky if they got a few bobs popped out of the club or whatever. It's fucking wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, how can they judge somebody over the telephone? Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the countries that lost the war are actually better off than the countries are that won the war. And that's a fucking well-known fact. I mean, look at fucking Germany. If you'd have said in 1940 that in the fucking 21st century, everybody be driving around in VWs and fucking BMWs, they'd have hung you and listening to Japanese fucking radios, they'd have fucking hung you from a lamppost, wouldn't they? Well, this is it. It could have been a bit of a disaster, that, couldn't it? But luckily enough, that didn't happen. Hitler did. The Germans were working on a jet plane, but on a jet fighter. But it had to be the engine had to be rebuilt every time it landed. Whereas Frank Whittle's engine, because he was the guy who invented the jet, he actually got it right, and he ironed out all the faults. And although they weren't allowed to take him up in the air, Winston Churchill witnessed the test flight, the early test flight of the Gloucester meteor, and it was very successful. And Frank Whittle got fuck all. Frank Whittle got fuck all for the jet engine, and really, by law, he had the right to take a royalty on every jet engine made, but he never got nothing out of it. He got shafted while he was still alive. I've heard that before about the Nazis building a time machine called the Bell. I've heard that one. Yeah, that's an old one. Yeah, I've heard that one. But yeah, the Clock of Glosh. Yeah, it was also known as the Bell. If you watch Ancient Aliens, mentioned on there. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think they actually really did. Right. Well, that's fair enough. No one's wrong there, are they? But I don't think they did. I think I think Hitler was found dead in the bunker, and the Russians burnt his corpse along with Eva Braun's. Martin Bormann, he escaped to the UK, and he was in York. He was in Yorkshire. Rudolf Hess. Well, they had him in the Tower of London, didn't they? Because he flew over to try and broker a peace deal with the English, with us. So they caught him. It was a fucking farmer who caught him with a shotgun. What's your name, Rudolph? Oh, come here, you. Get your hands up, like, you know. He was well and truly in the shit one. He should have stayed where he was. But well, that's what they say, but I mean, the problem with Hitler, nobody really knows. When you're talking about Hitler, Aaron, you're always going to meet people. I'm just trying to get my fucking shoes off. I thought my fucking feet were fucking warm. Put my fucking shoes on. And I don't usually wear my shoes in the flat. But I had them on earlier because I was out with scraps. But, at the end of the day, a lot of people think, Hitler had that many doubles. I mean, Hitler was copied more times than that girl scratching her fucking ass on that tennis girl scratching her ass on that poster and them 70s records, which I believe she wasn't actually a girl, it was a fella that. I believe that was a fella. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, he did a lot of damage with them buzz bombs and V2s. I mean, did a lot of damage. I mean, we have to learn. We have to learn, don't we? Really, from past mistakes to make sure that no one like Hitler can ever rise up again. And if they do, we should make sure we've got the way with all to do something about it. Like, shoot the twat, No, I haven't. I haven't seen that series, no, but I will look out for it. Oh, hang on, yeah, I think I have, yeah. I'll have a look, yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen the odd one. but I've not seen the whole lot. But fucking, they reckon that Adolf Hitler in his youth lived in Liverpool. I don't know how true that is. Anyway, folks, listen. It's getting fucking on a bit and I want something to eat. And I need a drink. And my voice is going very hoarse. And there we go. Ouch. It still works.
Problem in all the hospital wards.
And how much does it vary between different wards? I mean, I'm guessing in intensive care you've got quite a lot of people just because of the treatment they're having. But is there a difference between like?
Lovely. I'll turn it off now. It doesn't need to be on. I'm not listening to the radio. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to say good night to you all and thank you very much for joining me. And it's been an interesting one tonight, hasn't it? You all stay safe. And I'll have a look for that 1940s house in a few minutes. And I shall catch us all later. Like I say, thank you very much. And I've really enjoyed tonight. I shall catch you later, folks. Bye for now. I'm just going to put my fingers on here. Hit that.